We're here for an eviction suit. You indicated that the defendant in today's case, Anasia Sanders, defaulted in the terms of her lease by not paying rent. So with that being said, we're going to have you sworn in and proceed on with today's case. Raise your right hand, sir. Then nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do.
All right. And so with that being said, just ask you a couple of questions before we get started. Do you have a contract with Waco Housing Authority whereas they subsidize a portion of the tenant's rent for this property?
No.
Okay, and this property is is there anyone residing in this property that receives any form of housing?
No.
Okay, and so with that being said, sir, I'm going to give you the opportunity to proceed with the case against the defendant. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, Judge, I have been working with Anasia, or I should say Miss Sanders, for the last several weeks. But bottom line is, she moved in September 2025. With the exception of 1 month of rent in October, all of her checks have come back returned with non-sufficient funds. So her security deposit bounced, came back as non-sufficient funds. Her rent for September, her rent for November came back non-sufficient funds, and she's yet to pay anything for the month of December. So she's had multiple NSF notices from the bank. I've talked to her. She said her sister was stealing from her and she needed to pursue legal charges. She was going to have a detective, but all of that aside, I haven't heard from her, and rent continues to be not paid.
Okay. Looking at the documents you filed with the court as well as your sworn complaint, you stated that the notice to vacate was served to the defendant by posting it on the inside of the main door entry. Is that right?
That's correct.
And that was done according to your notice on December 11th, 2025. Is that right, sir?
That's correct.
All right, now so let's look at the lease. This property is within the LLC. Are you a managing member of the LLC or the owner of the LLC?
That's correct. I am the sole member of the LLC.
Okay, that sounds good. And looking at your lease here, let's take a look at they got the terms, got the managing renewal. And so the monthly rent for this property is what you were charging $1,800 per month. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you're saying she owes for 3 months back rent. Is that approximate?
That's correct. So the unpaid rent, late fees, NSF fees, along with the unpaid security deposit.
Okay. The only thing that the courts can award is just back rent. All of the other fees, NSF fees, the late fees and things like that, the courts cannot award those. The only thing that we could actually award are attorney's fees and back rent. And so if we're looking at back rent and court costs, you got 1,800 times 3. So in total, she owes $5,400 in back rent. That's for the months of, let's just say that that's going to be for October, November, December. The payment that she made to you in October should have been credited for September is the way I see it.
So what about, Judge Lee, with all due respect, what about the security deposit she's yet to pay?
That is not covered with regards to evictions.
Okay, so do I need to pursue civil? Like, how do I proceed with that? Because I don't feel like it's fair for her to just basically pay unpaid rent, and all of the late fees that I've incurred relative to the NSF fees from the bank, that shouldn't be on me. So is that just a civil matter?
That is a question. It is considered a civil matter. I encourage you to get with your attorney. It looks like you have a good relationship with John Malone.
Noted. Noted.
He could advise you on what steps you can take to recoup any of the losses outside of what is rendered as judgment in an eviction suit. Okay.
That's noted.
All right. And so let's take a look. Do you keep like a running ledger or anything like that that shows any payments or credits and anything like that? Do you keep that?
For this particular tenant, I can certainly create one. I thought I submitted to the court where every one of her checks have been returned. Is that not included in the documents?
Let me take a look. I didn't see anything. So I'm gonna tell you what I have. I do have your petition, which is a sworn complaint. I have the Civil Service Relief Act affidavit. Okay, you did provide me with, this is I see here. It's
And that's for every payment that she submitted that was returned from Central National Bank.
And these are the ones that were returned. So the
Correct.
one she did, one of them went through, but these others did.
That's correct.
Okay, I have that. Okay, so
Okay.
that, all right. So I do have the notice to vacate. And so there's one other document that we're missing in with regards to civil suits. Are you familiar with the Civil Service Relief Act?
I thought I completed that when I submitted it to the clerk. That was one of the first documents on the front. That wasn't, yeah, that,
So you did fill out the affidavit. You did fill out the affidavit.
okay.
But if you look at the top of it, uh, so what usually happens is whenever the defendant doesn't show up in court, you're swearing on this affidavit that they're not enlisted in the military, but also there's a website that you could navigate to. There's a link right there on that document. It says in that last paragraph, to obtain certificate of service of non-service under the Civil Service Relief Act affidavit, you may access the public website at that particular site. This website will provide the current active military status of the individual. So not only are you swearing to the court that the defendant is not actively enlisted in the military, but you also should provide some additional proof to support your sworn statement. And here's the reason why I require this right here. It's to make sure that one, we're not putting a judgment against someone that is actively enlisted in the military. And two, there's some protections in there for you. Because at the bottom of it, it does say that the penalty for making or using false affidavit, a person who makes or uses an affidavit knowing it to be false shall be fined as provided in Title 18 of the U.S. States Code or in prison. So one thing that we have to have is not only the affidavit, but also proof that they're not actively enlisted in the military. And that's where that database would come into effect. And the government, it's a free site. The government put this site in effect to give the courts additional proof that the defendant is not enlisted in the military, but also protections for the plaintiff so that you can have comfort of knowing that you won't be sued or face any, not sued, but fined or face any type of jail time in the event that this person is actively enlisted in the military. So that's the reason why I was asked, are you familiar with the act?
No, I actually, if I would have, you know, on her rental application, she is an educator. She's a coach at Hillsborough High School. She did not list any type of service or, you know, being in the military on that said application. So I can certainly go and do what you asked me to do, but that would have certainly been called out in the application that she completed.
Did she give you a copy of a check stub or anything just to verify
She
that?
gave, well, and with all due respect, I'm not sure what she provided me was legitimate after all of this. It feels like she's been here before. She knew exactly how much time she needed, what have you. And I don't want to, you know, debate without her being present,
Yeah.
but I do have proof that she is, and she's 23-year-old. She's 23 years old, Hillsborough, ISD. Like I have that information per her application. I know she's not in the military, Judge.
So you put it, she put it on the application, but she didn't show you an actual badge or
Yeah,
check stub.
so she showed me that. It's just she said she was going to be also working at, I believe, State Farm, and she showed me an offer letter. I'm not sure all of that is true. She also said, and again, I it's neither here nor there. If we could just proceed, I can get you whatever you need to prove that she's not in the military. We'll be fine.
So this is what I'm going to need. And again, this is a practice because this is my first time seeing you in my court. I don't know if you've filed in other courts, but it's a practice that I want to get you accustomed to, which
Well,
is
hopefully,
going
I don't have to see you again. I've been doing this for 30 years, and this is my
to.
second eviction that I've had to go through. So
Yes, sir.
hopefully, we won't have this problem again. But duly noted, I'll get you whatever you need to satisfy the court, and we'll proceed accordingly.
Okay, so I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need you to go onto their website, put in her credentials, which is her name and the last her date of birth, And then at that time, it's going to print out a database. And on that database, it will confirm whether or not the defendant is actively enlisted in the military. I need you to go into that website, print it out, and scan it in and email it or fax it over to the court. Once I have that, then I could sign off on the judgment. Okay.
Very well. Duly noted.
All right. With that being said, the case is going to be pending on my desk. About how long you think it'll take you to navigate to
Well,
that site?
so will the clerk help me with that website? Because I don't, can that be emailed to me so I know exactly where to go and I can send that over today? I need to get this resolved today.
Okay, you can contact the court and they can email you the Relief Act
Okay.
affidavit. And then on that affidavit, it has the link. But that's pretty much, we can do that for you. But just
Perfect.
contact the court and the court clerk will, see what she can do as far as, getting you the information you need to go into the website, okay?
Okay, farewell.
All right, with that being said, God bless you. May be excused. We have an eviction suit today, Mr. Motor. You're the plaintiff. You filed this suit against defendant Sandra Mcculloch. At the time you filed the case, you said that the defendant will pay your rent. She owes you $1,000 back rent. So with that being said, the bailiff is going to swear you in and then proceed on.
You can raise your right hand for me, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right. So, Mr. Motor, let me just ask a couple of questions in regards to this case. Is the defendant, is she still staying there at this house?
So I know, yes.
You stated in your petition that she owes you $1,000 in back rent. What is the monthly rent that you and the tenant had agreed upon?
$1,000 a month.
You have a copy of that lease?
Yes.
Let's see the copy of that lease. You said that you mailed her a notice to vacate. Already mailed, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You just moved in
Yes, sir.
November.
Right.
So she paid, so the rent that you're asking for is for December?
Yes, sir.
So she moved in November, paid the deposit in the rent. Did pay her rent for December. When was the last time you talked to her?
November, when she paid the rent. That's last time I talked with her.
Appreciate that, Mr. Moore. About how old is this woman? Jen, how old is she?
Oh, no, she's maybe about 30 years old, maybe.
Born in 72, according to what she put down.
Oh, okay.
So that puts her a little over 50.
Oh, 50, okay.
Does she work?
Yes.
Where does she work at?
She work at the VA.
Did you get a copy of her license or anything, whatever you let her move in?
I get a copy of what?
Driver's license.
No, I get no copy of. She gave me her driver's license number and everything. It's on that. A driver's license number, that's social security number. It's on that.
How can you prove that she's not in the military, Mr. Moore? You didn't even fill this out. You didn't even fill it out, Mr. Moore. Yeah, you got to fill that out. That's your sworn affidavit. Or your military status.
I really good. Yeah.
You got to check one of those boxes, Mr. Moore.
Mm.
Yeah, you didn't finish filling that out. So you check 2 of these boxes. Check 2, you only need to check 1. So okay, so you still not filling this out. I really wish we would get somebody to help you with this, Mr. Moore. But you still not filling this out. I highlighted the areas that you need to complete.
Okay.
The top one, what is it say? The first highlighted area, what is it say?
Okay, the planner. I'm the planner. Okay.
That second one, the second highlighted one, read that before it's highlighted. What does that say? You check that box.
Okay. No defendant in this case is on active duty in the U.S. military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, or Coast Guard. Okay, well, I checked that.
Okay, there's more to it. What else does it say, Mr. Moore?
That is, in fact, on this base, my collusions are as follows. What's
So-
that?
The one thing that you checked the box that said that she's not in the military, but you have to provide some facts
Okay.
to support that statement. Do you remember filling out, going onto the computer and printing out the database that shows whenever people are not in the military? You've done that in the past.
Yeah.
You got to go on the computer, go to the library and do it.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Put down why you feel like she's not in the military. Just write that down. Write down why you feel like she's not in the military. And in that highlighted area. In your own words.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
See what you got.
Well, I don't know.
She's too old.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the foot.
Okay. All right. And you did look at a driver's license, right?
Yes, sir.
You saw her correct date of birth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What else got to put down there other than she's too old? What else?
This is your sworn affidavit.
Yeah.
So I can only go by what you're swearing to.
Yeah, but I just asked you a question.
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Because the reason why I can't tell you is because this is what you're swearing to.
Right.
And if you lied on this, and if she is in the military, then you can face federal charges.
Yeah.
Okay? So I can't tell you, but damn.
Oh no, I would ask you about what that. I said, well, I guess maybe in the director, I'm just asking what else could I put down other than that, I guess,
Okay, well, I wish I could tell you.
Oh, okay.
Now, one thing I can tell you is that if you have her date of birth if you have her date of birth, you can go on to the Civil Service Relief Act's website, and you can print out a database, and the database would be able to confirm if she's in the military or not.
Okay.
That's one thing, and they have that the website on this piece of paper.
Right.
And you've done that in the past.
Yeah.
You went to the library and put in their information, and then it printed out a little database that shows whether or not that person is in the military or not.
Okay.
And that's what the government, that's the resource that the government gives to you, a plaintiff, to support your case if the defendant does not show up for a immigration military status. So, but outside of that, nothing that I can really tell you because it's your sworn statement. Again, if it says on here that penalty for making a false affidavit, a person who makes or uses an affidavit knowing it to be false shall be fined as provided in Title 18 of the United States Code or imprisoned for no more than 1 year or both. And so I wish I can't really just tell you anything. It's it's what you're swearing to me and pretty much what you're swearing to me that she's not in the military, and this is the proof that I'm using to support that she's not in the military. So that's kind of how it goes. So it's all on you. You want to protect yourself. I would strongly encourage you to either get a little savvy with the computer again, because you've done it in the past, and start printing out those databases, or hire a professional, which is a real estate agent, to assist you with your property, so you don't have to worry about any type of fines or imprisonment. Okay. All right, Mr. Moden, we're going to rule in your favor. Possession of the property. Property in question. 704 Kellum, Waco, Texas, 76704. As well as back rent for the month of December. That is $1,000. The defendant's appeal bond is going to be $2,000. And she has 6 days from today's date to appeal. If she does not appeal on or before that 6th day, then on that 7th day, you can come back and file for your writ of possession. Okay? All right. Any questions, Mr. Moder?
No.
All right. And just to confirm, she's not on any housing, is she?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll get that judgment mailed to you. Unless if you want to wait in the lobby, I can have the court clerk, print it out, get it signed for you. If you want to wait about 10 minutes, or else I can get it mailed to you. What would you like to do?
Well, I can wait, or you can mail either one.
You just tell me.
Okay, but I can wait.
You want to wait? Okay, we'll just wait in the lobby. We'll get it printed out. Get it to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Take care of yourself, Mr. Bowles. Happy New Year to you.
Sam, you sir.